Hi, Kathy. She's on her.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Now, why am I frozen? Oh, there we are. Good, good, good. I thought, oh no.
Not
So,
again.
today's Debbie's birthday, so she may not be able to get on because they're going to take her out to dinner.
Awesome. That's all right. We're going to record and she
Yeah.
can watch it again.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yep.
I won't And I know Maria's going to get on.
Okay. We'll give them a few minutes.
So Maria gave me her rotary cutter to make the half-inch dots. And it worked beautifully.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
You tried it, so I'm going to do another shirt, and so I'll do.
Well, you'll have to bring it Tuesday so you can demonstrate it for me.
I will do that. And she said she got it on Amazon, and I believe there were four blades, different ones. One was real tiny, and we said no, we didn't like that one. And then two were like wavy, something you would use for like scrapbooking. So
yeah, just bring it, and I'd like to see how it works, because if anything can help, that would be great.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to Orlando tomorrow. So if I have time, I'm going to try it out there. Otherwise, I'll do it Saturday.
Okay, well, I will tell you, once you have the holes cut, you don't have to do the straight line with the seam. You can crochet right into those holes.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay, I just want to make sure you knew that part.
Yeah, it'll just make life easier.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, you could do 3 double crochets into that tiny hole.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking I was going to wind up doing.
Well, I watched a video. I sent it to Kathy. The girl was making a poncho, and she did the holes, but she actually did it was like a chain stitch, like an embroidery stitch. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
I was too busy today. This is the first time we were out to dinner with friends, and I said, I got to get back. I was so glad it wasn't a weekend, because they like to drink their wine, and I thought, no, I got to get back.
So she went ahead and did a chain stitch in between the holes, in and out and up and down?
Yeah, she did it. It's like a chain stitch. It's an embroidery stitch.
Sure.
She used her needle, and then she crocheted her granny stitches.
Okay. Well, you can do it a number of ways. I think the t-shirt's strong enough to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially the light cotton that you're using. I just think it'll hold. But I mean, that would guarantee the hold. So sure, why not? If it's easy enough to do.
Well, no, she did the holes, and then she.
I understand what you're saying.
Oh,
I understand what you're saying.
Instead of doing the running stitch, she did this embroidery stitch. That's what I meant.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it would just make it more secure. I mean, there's lots of things you could do, but that would be, yeah. That would definitely.
Uh-oh, what happened? Kathy, we lost her. Okay, here she comes back.
All right,
there she is.
About one more minute, we'll get started.
Yeah. Oh, it's 8 o'clock now.
Oh, so there we go. Okay, I see.
All right, I'm going to record. Let me see. Record to. I don't want to record to cloud. Why can't I record to? I guess I have to record to cloud.
You never know.
Recording in progress.
There you go. It says recording. The meeting is being recorded. Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm just going to tell everybody over here, because I'm also on TikTok, what we're going to be doing, and kind of introduce myself to anybody that wasn't here last week. This is lesson number 2, and the video is posted on my YouTube page, Paula's Craft Shop 3324, if you're interested in going and seeing the first class. The first class was about designing your t-shirt and getting prepared and getting started. We didn't actually do much. We just kind of went over the shirts and prepared ourselves for making the t-shirts. And we're going to show you what I'm talking about, upgrading our t-shirts with some crochet. Now, I'm going to sound bad because the t-shirt that I started last week, my intentions were just to get started, not to actually finish, but I did make the shirt. I just really liked that yarn. It was going together. The yarn was wonderful. I didn't have another project, so I didn't put it down. So I did finish the other shirt. So I didn't bring that today because I'm going to show you the shirt that's actually going to talk about the skills that we're doing and using today. Okay, so I am going to make myself a gator shirt, and it's going to be kind of fancy is what my plans are. And a couple of questions that came up that were good questions from Linda, and I thought I would spell them out a little bit better because they're definitely good questions. About wondering where to cut with your sleeves. Now this shirt, the sleeves, because this was a jersey, the sleeves and the shoulder sections are pretty thin. And at first when I did it, I left more sleeve on there and I was just going to join past the sleeves. But I decided that I want more crochet. So it's important, and I'm going to look at see how long this seam is right here, and then it comes down here before my sleeve actually starts. When you're doing your design process, keep that into consideration, because your shoulder's actually right here. So from here to here is just shoulder, and a sleeve would start right here. So when you're cutting it, kind of just think about that in the process of your making of your shirt, just so that you have some ideas of how wide you want to do it. So my other shirt, I made a big girl shirt. I'd ask questions if you got some, guys. So I decided to go ahead and stick the size of the sleeve and the shoulder that they had inquired there, and that's going to give me more crochet showing up here, which I think I'm gonna like, because this shirt I want fancy, this shirt I want to brag about crochet. I want crochet to really be the shining star in my, because if you don't know me, I'm going to let you know that I'm from Arkansas. Arkansas does not have a professional team. We have only a college team, the Razorbacks. They lost all the time, but I was still the one with the hat and the shirt and the nose and the everything, because when I go support a team, I go big. So I'm going to go big with my gator shirt just the same, okay? Do I know some about football? I know about that much, and just enough to make the boys think I know something. So that's why we're doing a gator shirt, right? Okay, so here's my shirt. And like I said, when you look at it, it kind of looks skinny. Let me hold it up correctly here. It kind of looks skinny across the front, but that's okay. That was the plan, because like I said, I want crochet to start kind of just right past my chest, where it starts to round out here a little bit. I wanted it to start right there so that you could see the crochet coming at you, not just after I lifted my arm or turned or anything like that. That was a goal that I had, okay? All right, so I'm actually going to demonstrate today, because we didn't demonstrate last week. After you've cut your shirt, now, this was also a learned experience from Footy, is that a stainless steel needle is important. You need to have a needle that's strong and a needle that's meant for sewing into the fabric. If your eye of your needle is too large, it's sometimes difficult to pull through the fabric that you have. So just a smaller eye is better, and then use a needle threader to get it through, because that makes a big difference too. And then she used cotton, so she did not have to double her yarn. My preference for the actual outfits that I'm making right now is I just preferred to double mine. So you don't have to. I just chose to double my yarn, and I did. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, again, I say this all the time, but it bears repeating, because some of my first timers over here on TikTok, I work harder Now I'm going to say that wrong. I work smarter, not harder, in my opinion, okay? Some people might not think it's very smart, but this is how Paula Lee does this, okay? A t-shirt, in my opinion, does not necessarily have to have a hem to be a nice t-shirt. I know you all know from the 80s when people used to cut their t-shirts. They used to cut them and slice them and then tie them in knots and pop them. They did that all the time and the shirts never ran. People washed them and dried them, not a hem to be found. So in my opinion, I just didn't want the rolled seam to show. So I just folded it under. And that's the seam that's going to be shown on my shirt. So I also hide my knot. So I put my knot under and pull it through. It's double fabric right there because it does have the bottom hem. And when you pull it through, that's going to put the knot under my fold. So that's my goal, to do that, just so I don't see the knot. Also, it's important that you make your first stitch as close as possible. And I don't know, I don't see Footy on there. I don't know where she went. She already did some of her crocheting, but it's also important to note that you make that first loop close to the bottom of your shirt, because otherwise you're going to have a gap between the first cluster and the end of your shirt. You don't want that, okay? If you have that, that's going to suck. So you're just going to go in as close as you can to the end, not to hit your knot, but next to your knot, under or around your knot, somewhere in there. But you're just going to go back through that part of that shirt and pull it through. That always happens. Don't mind that. That's just what acrylic does. Once I get going, I get my finger in there and I keep it from knotting up. But if you pull it too fast, it all tries to, all the yarn tries to go in there at the same time. All right, let's get it straightened out here. All right, there we go. So now we're on the outside of the shirt, which would be the front. And I want that very first stitch to be there, so my first cluster will be at the end. Now, another thing I failed to talk about last time, and I want to make sure that I express this as you're designing and making your shirts, don't make your stitches too close together or too small. If you do, you'll have too many clusters and your shirt will be fat and puckery, okay? So you don't want that. So make sure that you have a decent space. Footy, what was the measurement that you used for your shirt?
Half an inch.
Half an inch between your stitches? Okay, so a half an inch between your stitches. And did you feel like that was a nice space? They weren't too close together or gave you too many stitches?
Yep, I think it's perfect.
Okay, so a half an inch is what she measured out. You could go bigger, you can go smaller. Granny square is pretty forgiving. And once you steam it too, or block it, however you're going to do it, we'll make it. So you're basically just going to do a running stitch up and down and in and out your shirt, okay? And you're going to pull it. And of course that first one, because I got that bottom hem in there, is going to be a little booger. Let me get that through there. You got to watch me struggle here a minute. Pull the shirt, don't pull the needle. Miss Footy got her hand sore last week, and I forgot to tell her that. If you hold on to the needle and pull the shirt, then that string will pop right through there, and you won't have to actually be pulling on the needle. That's a secret, and I forgot to share. It really does work. Now, once you get through this double fabric that's at the end, and I always pull my yarn so that it's tight. You want your yarn so tight that it will not make a rainbow when you start to put in your crochet clusters, but you want it not so tight that it doesn't have a little bit of give with your shirt, okay? Those things are important. So again, you're just going to go up and down and up and down, and I just poke. Miss Footy put little marks with a little blue pen that's washable, about, you said half an inch, right?
Yes.
A half an inch between each dot, and that works. And here's me being the lazy crocheter that I admit to be, not as good as her. So, but I just judge. I can kind of see a half an inch. You know, your thumb. Just look at your thumb, your fingers, and I can go in and out and in and out. And then you just pull. Like I said, hold on to the needle and just pop the shirt, because it goes through easier if you pull the shirt. You don't have to work as hard. Okay, well, that's going to make a liar because I did too many, but basically it does work. You don't have to, this is not the part that's going to need to look gorgeous, so don't be worried to manhandle it. There we go. All right, and then you just pull. You just pull and pull and pull, and there you go. See, my dots turn out, I don't know why they turn out even. I just have a little weird eye for that, and then they do. But you're more than welcome to mark it. Just use something washable. The other thing that was something that wasn't mentioned last week in our beginning planning stage, that's very, very important. You want to make sure that you pick a yarn or whatever you decide to use that's the same color of your shirt or the same color of your first row. And the reason is you don't want it to show if your crochet were to pull up a little bit. And if it does like that, you want to see white all the way through, or blue or purple or black or whatever color you choose to do. It helps to hide that first part. It blends in with your shirt, or you can make it blend in with your crochet, however you choose to do that. Again, this is shirts you're designing, you're the designer, so it's whatever you choose to do. I'm going to say hi to, oh, there's been a whole bunch of people on Facebook I didn't say hi to. Hi guys over here. I mean, not on Facebook, on TikTok. I forget. I've been on Facebook all day. I got to remember who I'm talking to. Never been on so many platforms in my lifetime. Feel like a rock star over here. But anyways, so basically, once you've did all of this, the folding, the showing, all that, then you're just going to crochet. Now, I think that there is a learning curve with the first shirt you make. The 1/2 inch sounds like a good measurement to me, but if you're a large crocheter, you may have to go 3/4 of an inch. I wouldn't go much bigger than that. You may have to go smaller, but also choose your hook, because you want to have as many clusters like this in your shirt that fit appropriate to your shirt. You don't want to come down here to do your next row and have it start angling out because you have too many. Hi, we have a new joiner.
That's Maria.
Hi, Miss Maria. I just seen you for the first
Hello.
time. Thank you for joining.
Maria,
Yeah.
you'll echo with having 2 things
Yeah, I'm
going.
getting there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got
Good,
balloons. I seen balloons shoot up. I don't know how that happened. I seen them. But anyways, so basically after you've done that, and I'm going to demonstrate, I did use the white under this part of my shirt, but because my colors are white, it doesn't show. I mean, you can't see it from the back, you can't see it from the front, and that's the whole goal. So this is going to be, well, that's my neck. So let's see. Right there. How's that look? Perfect?
Good.
You're supposed to say, wonderful. All right, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to do clusters. Now, I would usually use a 5. That's my favorite size, 5mm hook. But I am using a 4 because I don't want my clusters to be too big, because I want to do more changes in colors inside my cluster, because these are my colors. I want to be able to get some green for my alligator, orange, and then they used blue in the shirt to outline my alligator. So you can see what my colors are going to be, and I'm going to do them in just that same order. I'm going to do a little bit of blue, a little bit of orange, white, and green, and I'm going to do white in between the green to make it look like alligator teeth. What do you think? Do you think my granny cluster is going to look like alligator teeth?
I hope so.
Yeah, that's the answer I'm going for, Miss Kathy. You're supposed to say yes, but I'm hoping that if I do the green and then that, it'll look like something anyways. But one of the things that I do, and this is just basically from doing more than one shirt, is when you're crocheting into your little loop, I just hold it so it's not pulling from the previous loop or the next loop. The next loop will get too tight, and then you'll be frustrated when you get to the loop. Not that it doesn't adjust, because with this running stitch, it's very, very easy to do. But then you just put your 3 double crochets in there. I adjust and straighten out. Now remember, you're gonna press this, or you're going to steam it, whatever you're gonna do when you get to the end. So that shirt and that first row of grannies is gonna be quite more uniform and look more professional when you get done. So no worries about that. So this is going to be made just like a blanket. So you got to crochet all the way down to the end. You're going to do your little clusters. Now, if you want to do a different stitch, you can. because I don't know if you remember last week, I also was showing you the the shirt where I cut it off at underneath the armpits. I had a really big 3X. I cut it off under the armpits and I made it into more of a sundress. The top, I just crocheted the whole top up and did little tank kind of sleeves. And that I did with a V-stitch. So you can really use whatever stitch you want. Once you do this first row of granny clusters, if you wanted to double crochet all the way across those clusters instead of continuing the granny, you could do that. Because once you have the tops of your stuff done, you can do anything. You could single crochet, actually probably single crochet on this row if you wanted to, and then go back into it. So again, it's your shirt. I think crochet is the biggest way to be your own artist and design basically whatever you want. But let me shut up and get to the end of the shirt so I can show you what to do when you get to the end. Kathy, you make mini blankets. Do you know how to crochet blankets?
Oh yeah, I've done a lot.
With granny cluster blankets? Yeah?
Yeah, granny squares and just making it a bigger granny square.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. And
but I am interested in what you're going to do at the end of that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure y'all know. Now, when you do these shirts, you don't have to have a border around the end, but I do believe, and again, this is me, this is just my snooty opinion, and everybody can have their own. I don't ever have a raw edge in my crochet.
Mm-hmm.
I was the same way with a seam when I sewed. I always thought that I had to have an edge on everything. And so my rows, like if I did 4 or 5 rows like this, and this is the bottom of my shirt, and there'd be row here, I came across with some kind of stitch. Usually I would do a single crochet row just to make them even and look pretty and nice, and then I'd follow with a second single crochet because then that just added a little style.
Right.
It just made it a little bit more uniform, professional. The second one was really the border. The first one is more just to make everything even and thick and solid. But the ends that you have from that seam over here, you're going to sew onto the shirt, and the seam from that edge you're going to sew onto the shirt so that it has a little more stability. It won't pull apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just extra to make sure your shirt doesn't, you know, go through all this work. You don't want it to collapse the first time you put it on. Because, you know, you've all seen a blanket that's been worn and washed used and washed a million times. It tends to stretch out, but that single crochet border really does help it a lot. I don't know. I single crochet everything before I put whatever real border I want on stuff. That's just, I'm kind of just like that. Next week we'll design our sleeves. So if you get this part done and decide how we want to put our shirts together. In class we learned how to do a crochet join that doesn't have a seam. It's just crochet as you go. And that turned out real nice, and I did that on my other shirt. Alright, we're almost to the end. A few more. Believe it or not, I'm crocheting like an amateur because this is a tapered crochet hook, and 99% of the time I crochet with an inline, so it's making me feel like a beginner crochet when you use a different type of crochet hook. I usually have my Susan Bates,
Mm-hmm.
or my furl, but this is just an inline one. I mean a tapered hook. All right, almost there. That's right. This will give you entertainment for this evening, watching Paula crochet. Yeah. Hi everybody over there on TikTok. Nobody's asked. Nobody ever asks questions on TikTok. I don't know what that's about. I go on people's live and I see a million people asking a million questions. I'm like, how come they're not asking those on my live? All right, so.
Sure, stuff good.
Well, probably because I won't shut up long enough for them to ask a question. I do know that, but you know what? I feel lonely out here. The only one person, I don't want to have, empty space. So, just how it is. All right, now we're going to get to the last one. I want to make sure my last cluster goes all the way to the bottom. And of course it's tight because I got that knot in there. So let's get up under there. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So my last one is a regular cluster. All right, now I like to make sure, and again, remember when you go to steam it, it's going to make it adjust how it wants, but I always kind of test it out before you do the next row, because if you have any little puckers like this, I just want to make sure it doesn't stick. It probably won't, but that's just me. All right, so when you get to the end, get some more yarn over here. I'm going to change color, but for y'all, just since I'm already on this white, I'll just stick with white, because I really want to do blue next. All right, so I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to turn, and you know me, I hate to turn because I like all my stitches to be forward. I hate the back of a crochet stitch, but hey, that's how it works. All right, so you're going to just crochet. You're going to crochet 2, like, and pretend like it's part of a cluster. Just imagine. Some people crochet 3. It's up to you. Again, crochet is one of those things. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you how I do it, and then you do it however you like to do it. I like to crochet just 2 because 3 to me is too many. All right, and then we're just going to start from this part. Can you see that? See my first cluster and my second cluster? Then we're just going to start going in the middle. So let's just do 3 here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And then when I come back around on the next row, I'm going to put my next cluster in that little tiny hole that I left there. Some people, if they did 3, they'll have a bigger hole. I don't think a bigger hole is necessary for me because the granny cluster is going to spread it, stretch it out. My opinion is that these chain stitches stretch over time anyways, and if I have 3, it's going to be too big of a hole. If I do 2, I'm going to have the hole the size I want. I'm thinking about next week when I wear the shirt for the 3rd time, that kind of stuff. Now, when I get to the bottom and I have all my rows done, I'm going to crochet into that when I do my seam. Remember, we're going to do that single crochet across the bottom. It's going to pick that up. It's going to be thick, so it won't just look like a little one strand just hanging there. We're gonna save its life with a single crochet. Oh, look at all these people over here on Linda, we're famous. We're over here, people. We're up to 3 whole people watching us. Hi, everybody over there. On the TikTok world. But I'm going to go ahead and change my color because I changed my mind. I was going to do some white, but I just feel like I'm going to change the color for y'all. Okay, when I change my color, there's my last loop I pulled through. I'm just going to cut my string. And then I pull it through like a slip stitch. Because I'm just going to weave in that end. I'm a fan of weaving in ends, so I don't... It just depends on how I feel. Now, if it was the same color, I would flip it over backwards and go. But now, since, smarty pants me, who doesn't like to have backs of the, I don't like to turn my work. Now I can go back to the beginning and this also be forward. Okay?
Yeah, I like that idea.
You see? See how I worked that out?
Yeah, that worked out good.
Paula just, I don't know. I know people, even when they make their granny squares, they do that. I don't feel comfortable with it. I have too much judgment on the back side of a crochet. It just feels inside out. I don't know that makes sense, but my brain says it's inside out. All right, more people over here on TikTok's just happening over here. I think people get out in the evening more than they do during the day. All right, so now we're joining our color, all right? The white you can't see because, of course, it's white yarn. But we're going to get on the top of that first crochet 2 that we did. We're going to go through a V, We're going to grab our yarn, and I just do a lazy girl pull through. Again, I'm going to get 10 shirts done, and some people are going to spend time on their details and get 2 shirts done, and mine's going to look just like theirs. So I don't work too hard on this kind of stuff. A lot of people do slip knot, do all that stuff. I've never had it come undone. So I just pull the yarn through, make a circle, and I chain my 2, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start doing my granny clusters. Now there are lots of stitches you can add to a granny cluster. Say that you wanted to do let's say a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, and that makes the little squares that go down there. That's a nice stitch. You can alternate your rows if you wanted to do that with the granny cluster. That's a nice shirt, and I could do some so that I could show it to you next week. But using this 4, even I have 4 weighted yarn, makes my granny cluster small, which is what I needed. I needed the small granny clusters because I want all these colors. If you use, like, say, a 5mm hook, it's going to make a bigger granny cluster, and then you could use less colors. So it just depends on your design process. What you want to say. Hi, Miss Tammy, who joined us over here on TikTok. We're making a shirt. Alright, so here we go. So you just keep going, and again, I'm going to change colors. So you just crochet. And granny clusters, once you get the 2nd and 3rd row done, you'll see, if you think you're spacing when you did your running stitch or did your little holes, if you don't feel like it was right, the granny cluster on the 2nd row will start making it look like, oh, you're a genius. Look at those white spaces. Do they not look like they're perfectly spaced out? And
Yep.
then you put your blue on, they're perfectly spaced out. It's not because I'm a genius, it's because what granny clusters do, you know. They just do it by themselves. They turn out. Hey, Footy, do you want to show us your shirt? Because I know,
Sure.
yeah, because I know Footy got some of her crochet done. I'd like to see what
Yep.
hers looks like.
I've started the 2nd side.
Okay, let's see.
So, okay.
Absolutely.
So, I'll bring this up close.
Oh, I like the colored side. I wasn't sure if you're going to do gray next. Okay, you did 1 row of gray. Okay, what's your plan next?
So, I'm doing the same for the other side.
Of course.
And then I have to put it on to see what it looks like.
Yes.
And if it fits, then I think I'm going to put white down the middle.
Okay. Are you going to do it the granny cluster join as you go, or are you going to just do a stitch like a?
I'd like to do the granny as you go.
Awesome. And I think you caught on to that at class, so I think
I think that would be, I don't know, I think that would look really nice.
It will, because it'll be nicer than, to me, it doesn't have a straight line that looks like a seam. It doesn't look like a seam. It looks like a full
Right.
cluster. I will make a suggestion. When you try on that shirt, do a whole bunch of stitch markers to put it together, so you get the truest fitting when you try it on. Because
Okay.
I've tried mine on and I just hold it and stuff like that, but I can't move around or look at it, and I can't decide if that's what I like. And then you can also measure for your armpits.
Right.
Yeah, so put a clip in your armpits. Don't worry about, if you're worried about the armpits, do them bigger than smaller, because you can always make them shorten them up, but it sucks to make them bigger because you got to take everything out. So yeah, make them too big if you're going to make them, the wrong size.
Right.
If that makes sense, make them too big. I had a shirt that a whole sweater I made, and I did it by the measurements, but I don't know what I did. I think I put a damn single crochet hem in there, and I didn't need it around, and it made it tight in the armpit. And boy, you had to take so much out to get that fixed. So yeah, If it's too small, I mean, if it's too big, that's better. So, but now we just have to do our design process. When I get to the end, my next row is going to be green. That is going to be so cute. That's going to be my alligator, and then he's going to get white teeth. So we're going to put some in there. It's going to be so much fun. Green and oh no, my next color is orange, I think. Oh yeah, doesn't that look better together? The orange and the blue. Then the green. Yeah, so you play with it. Luckily, I'm pretty fast at the granny stitch. My daughter said I decided to make a cardigan because I needed some cardigans in my shop, and so I started a cardigan. And she left. She came back like the next afternoon, and she goes, "Damn!" I said, "I don't know what about that stitch. I make it fast." So it only took 2 evenings to make a cardigan. I should have it finished this evening. Probably be done already if I went in here, but I did. I went with pink and yellow. Well, Tuesday I started it, and here we are on Thursday.
I love the colors.
Done. Yeah, and so I got to come up with a name for it because I've decided that I'm going to start naming my sweaters that I put in my shop just so that I can keep track of them, and it just sounds more fun.
Yes.
I'm thinking of calling it Strawberry Lemonade because it's pink and yellow. Yeah, and then
that'd be perfect.
Yeah, and I want to put I'm going to put some strawberries on the pocket. I don't know if I can do a strawberry granny square where it's actually in or I have to do an applique. So I don't know which one I'm going to do. It'll probably have to be an applique because I haven't seen too many granny square strawberries. I don't know. We'll see. But that's my goal. I had to figure out something to do with that granny square yarn that I ain't making granny squares out of anymore because that stuff sucks. And like I said, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have about 15 rolls of that granny square yarn that I'm just going to use as variegated. Just going to play it off as a variegated yarn. And it'll have to be part of my granny square, my cardigan themes. So, but yeah, so now you just keep going. All right, did you have any other complications with your shirt that you want to talk about, Footy?
Well, I didn't do a really good job with the, ending my, the running stitch, hiding but I think I'm going to be all right because I think I can pull it to make it a little tighter.
Absolutely.
And then I can sneak it underneath, and I might hand sew, with cotton thread just in that area.
Okay.
To secure it down.
Excellent idea. And remember, when you press it or steam it, it'll help too. So pull it and steam it, and it'll kind of those two yarns kind of bind together a little bit. I just feel like it makes a difference to me. And
I love the steam.
Yeah, and when you started working on your other side, doing your running stitch, did it get easier or stay hard?
It actually got easier.
Okay. Did you use it?
But I did change the yarn. So the first was like, what was that called, Kathy? Sugar and cream or?
Yeah, it was a cotton.
Yeah, it was big twist cotton.
Okay.
Oh, big twist cotton. So that was difficult because it shredded.
Okay.
So it was like in the middle, it was like I had all these strands. So,
yeah, it wasn't very strong.
Yeah, it feels strong, but then it just shredded, right. From pulling it in and out.
I was say it was probably from the pulling it in and out.
Yes. So then when I did the other side with my white, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, it actually glided through easier and it didn't shred.
Okay, that's cool to
know.
There's
some kind
of... Yeah, it is good to know.
There's something that they add to their yarn. I don't know if it's a wax or a silicone or some kind of you know, there's probably some weird chemicals in there that they do to have it have that little slipperier texture.
Okay.
And I think that's what helped it go through your shirt. So, but I mean, it makes sense. It makes total sense.
Yeah, it was, a huge difference, and who knew?
Well,
I mean,
see, this is that yarn, and look at how loose and flexible that yarn is. Okay, you can't tell me this ain't cute with that color, but
oh, I love it.
isn't that the sweetest? That's my bikini body. I'm hoping. No, I'm just kidding. I just made it to put online, but yeah. So that yarn, it's just pliable. It's flexible, and so it didn't fight the t-shirt. The other yarn doesn't have that waxy stuff. The same as with Red Heart. If you were trying to pull Red Heart through there, it wouldn't go. Red Heart would have said, get out of here. Yeah, Red Heart does not like to pull through. I try to use Red Heart in my, and this is funny too, my knitting machines try to use Red Heart yarn, and it says no way Jose. So I have this big giant candle. It's not an expensive candle, but it's burnt down a little bit. So I poked a hole in the candle with a toothpick, and I threaded my yarn through the candle, and now when I do Red Heart yarn, it goes through the candle, and so it puts a waxy coat on it, and it glides in my machine. Yeah.
That's
I know. I weird things. My granddaughter said that's the color she wanted, and I said that yarn doesn't work on the machine. That's the one I want. I said, okay, we're making a hat. We're going to use that yarn. We're going to figure it out. And of course, I figured it out. It made a hat. It didn't drop. It did not drop one stitch one time first try. And I'll tell you that a lot of yarn, I have to do the hat 2 or 3 times to not drop a stitch.
okay.
Yeah. I can repair a stitch on the knitting machine, but it looks shitty, so I'd rather just finish the hat and then rerun it through the machine, because the machine takes 15 minutes. I'd rather have it look nice and take 15 more minutes. But, all right, any more questions you got on this shirt? Footy, any more suggestions you would add, or anything we didn't add for this week?
No, I think you did great. I am going to look up Maria. We talked about it before we got on the call. Maria ordered, it was a package of 4, was it, Maria? 4 or 5 rotary blades, and one does the little holes a half an inch apart, and it was slick. She did it, and I'm going to try either tomorrow or Saturday. So, and I will do a video so people can see.
Perfect. That's what I like. Would you tag me in that video?
Oh, I'm going to post it right in our Friends Who Stitch group.
Okay, yeah, because I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and then you can use it in, for your TikTok people.
Absolutely.
And I used it on both types of material.
Yes, you did.
I used it on cotton, regular cotton fabric, and then when Linda was here, I showed her on actual T-shirt.
Awesome.
So it was, it was, to me, if you're, for this project, it's going to be its weight in gold,
Oh, yeah, because if I can crochet right into those holes, that $1 million to me.
Yeah.
That, like Footy learned, it sucks doing that running stitch in a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And you know what? I crochet. I don't want to sew. I could do a running stitch and make something. I don't want to, if it's a crochet project, I want to crochet. So the needle and doing it like thread, that just gets on my nerves. So if I could just get right to business.
Oh, yeah, it'll cut your time in half because,
absolutely.
You're not like me making the dots, with the ruler and measuring everything.
Right. 100%.
And then, it was, I thought that was pretty slick. So she said she got it on Amazon. I just haven't been home to look it up.
When you make your video, we want all the wet fours so I can go get one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. My granddaughter, It's funny because that thing's pink. My granddaughter came in here and every tool that I had tweezers, I had, my staple remover, everything that was pink she had lined up on my desk, including that rotary tool. I wanted to look at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so now you can't find the damn thing.
Yeah. I'm going to check mine because I think I picked up mine at the dollar store.
Oh, you got one?
And it might have a couple of different blades with it.
Test it out.
Because I got one. I got one at the dollar store, and mine didn't come with one. I mean, other blades, but
Okay.
it depends. Depends. Maybe if you got it other places than Dollar Tree, then
Right.
But Temu. I mean, if you're not in a hurry for it, which most of we are, we're ready to go to work.
Yes, we want to go now.
So Amazon would be your quickest bet, but Temu, obviously, you'd be able to probably get the blades and the handle all at once.
Okay.
But the other blades are sweet too, because there's a blade in there that does a wavy cut, 2 different wavy cuts. The third one does it does the same type of like a cut, but it's closer together, so it was going to be too close for this project. And then the 1/2 inch slits. So I mean, and then it came with its own handle too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And the one that I have, I may be just doing it wrong. So y'all demonstrating that would be helpful to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
but yeah, that what I bought it for was actually the wavy one. That's what I thought I was going to use the most.
What are you
So-
cutting with the wavy one? Paper?
No, I wanted to use that instead of a pair of pinking shears.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
No, and then it actually, to me, when it was finished and you flopped it over to make your seam or your hem or whatever, it was going to be a little better looking than pinking.
Okay, makes sense to me. I get you.
Yeah, so
You were trying
that
to
was the idea.
You wanted to look fancy, didn't you?
Well, I'm like you. There's certain things that I gotta have.
I know.
A certain look to something, and
Yeah,
that was
I
one of them.
yeah. Your brain just says, "Nah, that's not what I want."
Yeah.
Mine definitely does that. Yeah. Well, all right. That sounds good. And did you start a shirt? Are you ready? Did you? What's?
I have my sides done.
Oh.
So I'm gonna wait until everybody catches up. Okay.
Yeah, because I want to see your shirt.
Well, I don't have it attached. I shouldn't give it away. Let's just put I have my sides done.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, because we're going to talk about how to put it together.
Okay.
Cause
Well, I will.
you can
I
close.
can-
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna be different. That's all.
No, absolutely.
Because I just went to town on it, and so
I-
I'm ahead of y'all.
I hear you. You can crochet this shirt any way you want it, and we learned a couple of ways to join our projects, and we learned to crochet as you go so that you won't have a seam that shows. You'll actually have a row of granny squares granny clusters that connect this side to that side. So you'll have that down the middle rather than a seam, which I don't mind a seam because I do a slip stitch that goes like this because I alternate and it looks like a zigzag, which I like that too. But this one that we learned will not be a seam or look like a hem or anything like that. But all right, well, I'm excited. I'm glad you got it that far. Miss Kathy, how far did you get?
I haven't started yet.
I felt I knew that answer. She's been
Yeah.
making purses.
Yeah, well, yeah. And they've been fine, but I was a little tired today.
I got you.
So,
I
It
got you.
did get done.
Well, once you start the shirt, it goes fast. You have it done in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's just really fast.
Well, and then you watch TV and you crochet like that, and basically you can do a granny
That's
stitch
right.
without even paying any attention to what you're doing.
I
It's
totally agree.
it's just a matter of my starting. That's all.
If you'd stop
Well-
going to Disney.
I'm going again Sunday.
I knew it. You sucker!
Yeah.
How are you getting all these trips to Disney? You got a pass?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you
Well,
kidding?
besides
She's
that-
crazy for Disney.
What?
I said you're crazy for Disney.
I know.
I had a pass last year. This year I went with SeaWorld because I got a grandbaby and we wanted to go see animals and get in the water and all those things. Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and then we went to Aquatica.
Okay. How did you like that?
She loved it. She's 8, so we
Oh wow.
the lazy river, and then we did. She finally did her first water slide. She
Ah.
yeah, no life vests, and she didn't scream or cry, which was a whole joy right there in itself. But yeah, she went down, got to the end. I had to teach her over and over and over. Just stand up. The water's never deeper than you can stand. Not in any of the things, in the wave pool if you go far out, but 99% of the time, you're 3.5 feet. Stand up. And once she figured that out, when she come down the slide, she just stood. And she was fine. She was like, Lolly, I didn't even go under the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, tried to tell you. You don't listen. Yeah. Nobody listens. Kids don't listen. My grown kids don't listen.
That's nice having grandchildren.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just got one. I think that's all I'm going to get. But, one's better than 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just spoil the one. Yeah, you have to be nice to your grandkids because you have to have somebody take care of you when you get old. That's what granddaughters do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're there first. Yeah, when I worked in the nursing home, the granddaughters was always the sweetest ones. Because they do the extra. Like, daughters would come, they'd visit and do all the practical stuff. But when the granddaughters come, they'd bring grandma cookies or flowers or do grandma's hair, take her to the beauty shop. That's what the granddaughters did. So, yeah, you got to have a granddaughter. Yeah, they spoil the grandmas.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, you got granddaughters?
Yep, I've got one.
All right, see, you're in. You're in
Yeah.
the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Be nice to that granddaughter.
Yeah. We're good. We're good together.
That's good. She makes sure your daughter don't put you in a bad nursing home.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
As long as I can do crafts, I'll be okay in a nursing facility.
That's what my daughter said. She said, "Mom, you'll have a good time. You want to go to one that have crafts and parties and has lots of activities and a good activity director." She said, "You'll do just fine."
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
That's true.
that's how I started at the nursing home. I started as an activity director. So I have a certificate of, says that I can do it by law in Florida. So, in Arkansas. So,
Mhm.
but I did that for a lot of years, be the activity director. It's definitely a excitement. We had cheese and wine, and we had fake cocktails at our nursing home.
Uh-huh.
Bring all
nice.
bring all the mixers and then make drinks, and they think they're drinking something. The key is to have the fancy glasses and the umbrellas and an olive.
That's great.
And, yeah, and then we did cheese. Now sometimes hospice would bring real wine, and you could have wine if the doctor wrote a note that said, yeah, they can have wine. So
That's good.
yeah, but all right, there's 2 rows.
Okay.
There's my and remember, plan on your hook size, whatever you do. I don't know if when I crochet with a 5, it's pretty medium, but when I crochet with a 4, it's kind of tiny, so I like that because then I have room for all my colors. All right, now we're gonna go to orange. Woohoo! This is the only orange I had. Thank God it was the right color, I think.
Uh-huh. Pretty good.
All the colors I have, I said, let's find orange. I looked and this sucker was hiding. I have like a coral, but coral ain't really orange. But I could not find orange, and this guy was hiding in the back. I was like, thank God, because I'm trying to use my stash. and not buy yarn, but you know,
I hear you.
it doesn't always happen. The last shirt I bought the yarn because, you know, I just did. But
Mm-hmm.
so this one I said, no, we're making this all from scratch. I might put rhinestones on this one.
Put it as the teeth on the alligator.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like
Anybody
that.
that doesn't know, I have a heat press, so I could buy the heat press rhinestones, lay them out how I want, bring it down, and it'll press them rhinestones right on, all in one little shot. So
It'll look like the alligator has braces.
I was thinking of Madonna with her. Remember how she would wear that grill?
Oh,
Some of the-
okay.
yeah.
You're showing
Pretty
your
heavy,
age when you're
but-
talking about Madonna in there.
Well, she
Oh, wow.
actually did it like last year, I think.
Oh, really? At her
Yeah,
age?
she
At
was
Madonna's
on, like,
age?
Jimmy Fallon or some one of those shows.
Oh, God. Madonna's old. What is she, like 70 or something?
You know, I don't know how old she is.
Well, I'm going to be 60. She's got to be older than me.
I thought she was younger than. Well, let me Google.
Well, I was gonna Google it, but go ahead.
Yeah, somebody
Let's
Google
see.
that.
Let's see.
She fell down a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh my God, did she break a hip? Don't break a hip.
She is 67.
Okay. She's
Okay.
only 7 years older than me. Ah, I thought she
She was
older.
born August 16th, 1958.
Okay, okay.
Wow.
I thought she was younger than me anyway.
I still wouldn't be wearing no grill at that age.
Yeah, but I think that a grill would look really good on that shirt.
Oh, okay. I
think so too.
will think about my design when I get to that part.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, if you look at it, the shirt already has some. They put little dots of glitter. It's not rhinestones; it's just glitter. So if I added the rhinestones, it would just up the game, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So we're on
And
it.
maybe put a blue stone in the eyeball.
Oh, you all are going out there, aren't you?
Well, you can't just stop at the teeth.
You're right, and that is normally my way of thinking about that. You can't stop at the teeth. I always do overkill. That's part of being at the rest home. I over decorated. I over, you know, everything. But my daughter's a kindergarten teacher. She does the same thing. So it works out.
Good.
Oh, this blue and oranges together is great. I got to come up with another cardigan. I think I'm going to do blue and yellow. It's pastel blue and bright yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me grab it. I'm going to show it to you. All right,
Kathy, you could be crocheting your shirt.
I cheated. I got all the colors. Okay, look.
Goodness.
Blue and yellow, and the yellows are there's a
Mustard.
there you go, mustard. Good, I'm glad that color shows up. And then a bright yellow, so it's a lot of blue, then these two yellows. So that would be cute, and I can alternate with a yellow in that one. Okay, but I got this one too.
I like that one too.
This one's for footy.
Yeah, right. I was thinking the same thing.
Yes, and this one I'll probably do white as my alternate color.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to have a row of a solid color, because if you do all variegated patterns don't always change nice for me, and if I do a solid color, I feel like that it feels more on purpose. I don't know. Again, that's okay. But then I got this one too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that one was kind of pretty too, and for some reason I really like this little mustardy color.
Yeah.
So I could go a lot of ways with this one.
Yep.
But I think this is going to be the next one I do,
Okay.
because the light blue is calling my name. I
That's
have have lots of light blue yarn, but I almost don't make things with light blue. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Watch. I'll let you see my light blue collection.
Oh lordy.
See all of this? These are blues. So
Okay.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Do you see me? There we go. All of this is blue.
Uh-huh.
Minus a couple of purples stuck in there. But, so I don't know why it doesn't draw me to make it, but this blue does. I don't know why. Maybe
Okay.
because it's with yellow, I guess.
Maybe.
So, enough to choose from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enough to choose from? All right. This other one, TikTok's showing my lap. I don't like my legs on TikTok.
Well, we saw your legs too. It was okay.
Not too bad? Okay. Yeah, a lot better now. You lose 40 pounds, you'd be like, all right, those legs aren't as bad as I thought they were. Yeah, so, all right. So, you going to get started this week, Miss Kathy? You going to have a chance?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, if you bring your shirt Tuesday, I hope you cut it.
Okay. No, I don't think I have a problem with that. I just have to get motivated. That's all.
Okay.
Today I was just way too tired. I don't know why.
You don't, yeah. More coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where I would be. More coffee.
Yeah, I can't start my day without it.
I know. I did not drink coffee when I worked. The day I retired, started drinking coffee, and I'm the girl that puts in. I have all the little pumps, and then a little this, a little that, a little this, and yeah, and fancy cream, and now I drink coffee every day. So, but I don't eat breakfast anymore. I just drink the coffee because it's flavorful enough, and it's, fills me up. But yeah, I was too lazy to do it when I was working because it took time to make the coffee. I had one of those terrible husbands who was not making the coffee for me.
Okay.
Yeah, not doing a lot for
Girls,
me.
I'm gonna check out for tonight.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I'll see you again.
Yeah, we
Good
want
night.
to see.
It's almost 9.
Yep.
We want to
Yep.
see your
All
shirt.
Okay.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.
Night.
Bye.
All right, bye everybody. I guess we'll go away.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 5:58, so you have till 9.
Okay. Oh, I get two.
There's any,
I get 2 more minutes.
you have 2 more minutes.
All right. Well, I'm just about to have my third color over here.
Yep,
I'm almost finished my second row.
Oh, good. I'm figuring out this stupid crochet hook.
Why don't you just switch to the other one?
You know what? As Riri as I am, I feel like it's gonna look different. I don't know that it will, but my brain won't let me do it. My ADHD brain. Well, and I'm in my shop, and I didn't bring my hook bag, and it's all the way in the house. You'd say, "Where'd she go? She didn't come back." I'd have to run that way. Yeah.
You got lost.
Look at this.
It looks great.
Isn't that going to be neat? Wait till I put that green on there. It's going to look like a trumpet.
It's really cute.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks like football season.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Now I'm going to have to come up with something for football.
Huh.
At least my daughter's new boyfriend loves football.
Okay.
So I went over there on Thanksgiving and convinced him I know something about football. And so I'm going to figure out how to get a Florida game to wear my shirt so that I could go over there and give him a hard time. Show up in all my extra gear. Yeah. We're talking, when I say he loves football, he will watch 3 football games in a day.
Wow.
To me, that's way too much because football's a long game. But I'm the cheerleader. When our team does something great, woo! I'm a big jump out of the seat, scream, and when the ref misses something, I yell back. Yeah, so I get tired because it's too much. I pooped out after one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get too emotionally invested, and then my daughter always has to say, "Mom, quiet, too loud." I don't care.
Okay, girls, it is 9 o'clock.
All right.
And is there anything you want to say before we close?
Just say, get your shirt done, Kathy.
Okay.
Just at least what I would say is just get your sides done
Right.
with the design that you want, and then next week what we'll do is we'll put them together,
Okay.
and then
Perfect.
we'll discuss doing sleeves. We'll talk about it, but we'll just at least get that part about how to put it together and how to do the bottom, and then the following week we'll do the sleeves, but we'll at least get it, in our heads.
That's
Okay?
good.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks, Linda.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Recording stopped.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
All right. So who's giving me hearts over there?
I think it was footy.
Ah, are you still there? All right, there you go. All right, somebody's giving me hearts. Thank you for ever giving me hearts. I can't tell who's doing that over here on TikTok. But check out my shirt. It's going to be my gator shirt. And I am adding crochet to the side of my shirt. You like it? There's my, wait a minute, where's my orange? Oh, it's on the back side. Like that. See? My gator shirt. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Now, next week, if you come back on Thursday live, we're going to do it again, and we will seam up our shirts. We're going to decide if we want to do a join as we go, which is probably what I'm going to vote for, because I want to meet up these two greens and make my alligator look like he has teeth, because I think that's going to be funny. So my next color is going to be green. Is there anybody on here who wants to? TikTok is not telling me who is giving me all these wonderful hearts. I do appreciate them. Okay, I am going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me, and if you want to learn more about making these shirts, I have videos on my YouTube page, so you're more than welcome to go follow me on Paula's Craft Shop 3324. I would appreciate if you did that. I can't go live on TikTok because I don't have that many, on YouTube, because I don't have that many people over there, but it would be really nice if you could join me on that page. Just reach over and give me a follow. The link is at the top of my TikTok page. But don't you think that looks cute? That just looks so cute. All right. Hi, Miss Cap Cut Queen. I believe that's what it says. Little cat picture on there. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to hang up here pretty soon in the next couple of seconds. I'm saying hi to all these people, but it's time to go. Bye. Let's see if I can find the turn off button on this. Let's see. End your TikTok. Thank you for the hearts. Let's see. I don't know how to turn it off. Does anybody know how to turn off TikTok? Wait a minute, right there. There we go. End your live. Yes.